We're back to Beaumont, Texas, the Fair Park Coliseum. As we get set for another round of our Monster Truck Challenge. Of course, the Pro Arena trucks will be out a little bit later. But first, the high-flying antics of Arenacross. This is a look at heat number 1 of the 125s. We've got 250s here as well. As you take a look at the grid, 6 of these riders, Mike, are going to transfer right to our main event here tonight. It's a 5-lap race. It'll be a 12-rider main event. We get 6 riders out of each of our 2 heat races.
A lot of motorcycles on hand tonight, Ralph. This track is long. You're going to see a lot of air in it. There's a lot of high jumps. I don't think anyone will try to pull the double because the doubles are so far apart tonight.
And we're underway. Jumping out in front on the Suzuki, looks like number 31, Eddie Laughlin. And we got a couple of riders down, including the 02 on the Honda. Larry Strickland. The 72, I believe, went down as well, or 72X, Hunter Hawa. Watching Hunter earlier on, he looked like he was having some trouble reaching all the way down to the floor when he was sitting on top of that bike. The 186 now, putting on some pressure from second place. That's the other Suzuki, Ross Dayhiker.
Ralph, one thing about it, it's real close work down in the corners. You've got to go into the corner deep, come out, go around the car, then back out, and then over the jump. The corners are very, very tight. I think that you're not going to get a lot of passing in that. The straightaways, if you're going to make any progress in the back, you're going to have to do it on the jump.
Well, the Suzuki's running 1 and 2 right now as Diker gets out front on the 186. You got a Kawasaki running along in third, bike number 27. That's Michael Marshall.
Marshall looks like he's trying to make a move for the second spot.
Number 6 riders will transfer directly to the main event here tonight for the 125. Here's your leader coming right at you. Look at the gap he's opened up here, Mike.
No bike working well for him. He's working the corners extremely well, getting in and out of them.
The battle is for second place as you watch the 31 of Laughlin trying to hold off that Kawasaki. 1 lap to go. You see Leo waving the white flag over there in the corner.
Laughlin's right on the back door. If he can make any time at all, make any moves into that second spot, he'll guarantee himself a step into the future. On the inside of him, Ralph may be able to make it. What do you think?
Marshall trying to make the move. Can't get the Kawasaki lined up where he wants it. They got a little traffic and a slower rider. The 02, it looks like, having problems. And they cross the line, and Marshall's not going to be able to take second place, but with third, he will transfer on to the main event. There you see the 02. That was Strickland over there who had problems earlier as well. So 6 riders have transferred now on to the main event. The winner of heat number 1, the 186, Ross Diker.
A lot of bikes here tonight, Ralph. Just a tremendous amount of bikes.
Well, if you like heat number 1 of our Arenacross, stay right where you are, because here comes heat number 2. Here's a look at the finish, and you can see how they went into the corner. It looked like Marshall had the line, but Laughlin was able to shut the door on him, Mike.
Just wasn't there for him. I don't think his bike's working as good off that turn as the winner. I think there's where the problem was. He worked well down the chutes and just wouldn't come off the turn. They could change, I mean, before the feature.
Laughlin did a great job of avoiding Strickland there in that final turn. Okay, here we go with the next heat race. 241. Kevin Gravitt looks to be one of the guys to keep an eye on here tonight. We were watching him earlier in practice. He seems to be pretty stout.
Well, he's starting on the inside. I think that'll help him a lot right up front. So, and he does jump out in a very quick lead, Ralph.
Gravitt out and away. Oh, we stack him up in the first turn. Ooh.
1 goes down, 4 bikes quit in that first turn. The leader's going to stretch it out quite a bit, I think, over that little traffic jam.
Gravitt already working his way around to the completion of lap number 1.
A basically long track route. I think they're going to have to kind of pace themselves all the way through. He may be working lap traffic, though, as well as he's running tonight.
Well, he's going to be coming up on a slower Kawasaki-mounted rider here shortly. He's going to be working his way up onto the back of the 28.
Well, the second place race is right there between 98 and 21. 98 being Kenny Tucker.
And Johnny Travis on the 21.
Tucker's still holding out that second place.
Oh, looks like the Suzuki rider had a good shot at the spot right there, Mike, but he got on the brakes instead of the gas.
Bad mistake. I mean, they shut the door on him. They may not come open again.
Well, with 5 laps, you can't waste any time. It's do it now or forever hold your peace. The good news is they've got both of them right now holding on to transfer spots at this point. The 42 rides along in 4th on the Kawasaki back there is Todd Perkins. That's a transfer spot. Oh, there we go.
That was the door that he wanted, Ralph. That'll put Kenny Tucker still holding on to the 2nd spot. He lost it for just a moment, but he's come back into the 2nd spot. He's still real good battle going on between Tucker and Travis.
Randy Harris on the 28 is a lap rider. He's trying to get out of the way.
Looks like Travis moves into the 2nd spot. Travis trying to take. There he goes into the 2nd spot. That moves him up into progress.
Had trouble hanging on to the rear end, but straightens it out and then almost loses it back right there in the turn. So white flag comes out. He really struggled in the berm.
It's running up and getting real loose in the turns, Ralph. I don't think they're used to getting in and out of those turns with the track conditions being so different.
Well, he's trying to put a lot of power to the ground as they come through the corners. You can see that rear wheel dancing around underneath him, shifting his weight on the saddle, and Gravett will get the win. Kevin Gravett, as we told you just at the start of this one, looked to be a guy to keep an eye on. So Travis will go along as well. So will the 42. Todd Perkins, and here comes the rest of the field. 6 riders transferring on to our A main tonight for the Arenacross, the 125 class. Here's the pass for 2nd. Watch this.
Gets it in just a little bit deep. When he does, he gets underneath him. That's all it takes. Once the doors open, the guy is gone.
Well, the other thing Tucker did was he looked behind him.
Never looked back.
No, the race is in front of you.
Yeah, they're always there.
And that's where Travis almost lost it again, but he straightened it out, got into the double jump, and took off and held on for 2nd. Wow, we are just beginning things here in Beaumont, Texas. Stay where you are. We're coming back for more right after this. Drag racing portion of the night a little bit tough for him. Well, the 250s, these bikes a little bit bigger as you take a look at the grid for our first heat. Once again, 6 riders will move on to the main event here tonight.
This should be a good one.
2 different heats, getting set to go.
186 looks like he got the jump out of the hole. Ross.
Diker, that's the guy that won our 125 heat race.
161, Kirby sitting right behind him, though.
Well, they've swapped it around already, and this is an interesting pair right here, and a couple of KTMs. The Kirbys, Sean and Todd, the 161 and the 299, and it's Todd out front right now. Team Kirby having at it. But Diker coming after him on his Suzuki. The big bumpers out front, the KTMs.
Diker is a threat, though, sitting in the 3rd spot. I think he's getting out of the turns just a little bit better, but boy, the KTMs have really got the horsepower down the straightaway.
Well, and here comes the 21, Travis, who is stout in his heat on the 125 as well. Now, the advantage that these 2 guys have over the Kirbys is they've seen the track. And that's exactly what happens as Diker makes the move going over the doubles.
This is the race back to 5th place. The 103's on the bubble.
103 machine, Charles Verdi. Oh, and he has problems with the Honda. Grabbed the gas instead of the brake, and he's down in the dirt.
Down it went, got into the loose dirt, and that was just too much for him.
James Gardner, 007 out front now on his Kawasaki. He'll take the position. Followed closely by the 136, Alex Taylor.
Those are very important positions because they're going to automatically transfer you into the A feature.
And there is no or consi race to get you into the feature. You either transfer out of your heat or you're done for the night.
Well, we've got a big pileup down on that turn, Ralph.
That's right, where our leaders are headed. Diker splits the 2 of them.
Gets between him, but 2nd place gets hung up down there. The 3rd bike comes in. Only 1 lap to go. I don't think there's going to be enough time for that 3rd bike to close in.
Todd Kirby got awful lucky in there in the 299. Whoa, and look at Diker getting a little bit aggressive. Showing off a little bit and almost bit him.
Don't want to show off till they throw the checkered flag, Ralph. You know that. And that's coming up.
KTMs will hold on to second and third. The Suzuki picking up his second win of the night.
There's your 5th and 6th. That's going to be the final of the transfer spots.
This will go to the 103 of Charles Verde and the 136 of Alex Taylor. Kirby brothers will go, Johnny Travis will go, Dyker will go. And now heat number 2 for the 250 Arenacross competitors makes its way out into the racetrack. Now here's what bit the rider on the bubble. Watch the corner right here, the 103.
Tries to swing it into the berm. When he does, he's in the, as you mentioned earlier, he hit the gas instead of the brake. The bike got it completely out from under him. Off the bike he went. It's history.
So here's a look at heat number 2. Kevin Gravett, who won his heat on his 125, back out here once again on a 250. Gets a jump. Look at Gravett slide to the inside. He missed the first jump completely.
And we got one down on the saw him go down just at the last second when they came over that jump, but that didn't last long on that lead.
Jeff Thies, the 18, the Kawasaki mounted rider, out of it.
Watch the 82 bike. He runs in the second spot. That's Waters.
He's on the Kawasaki as well, and he's giving Gravett a run for his money right now. The 157 having some problems, as you see. That's Jerry Raymond.
That corner that they're running into right now, Ralph, real loose. See the rooster tail coming off of it. There's no bite there, and they're going to have to compensate for that.
Well, and that's why the advantage might be going to Gravett, since he saw it already in his earlier heat on the 125. Doesn't sound like much, but every lap or two makes a big difference.
Makes all the difference in the world in this kind of race. It's short, it's to the point, no mistakes.
That was third. Here comes 4th place right there, the 47, David Kiesendorf.
Blanchard sets in the 5th spot at this time. He's on the bubble.
That's the 59 right there. Well, a little showboat going on with the 291, or the 891 actually, Troy Barrows.
Another bike goes in and has problems down there in that turn, the 81 bike.
That's the Honda mounted rider. That's right there, Jeremy Freeman, battling out with the Kawasaki, the 59 of Blanchard.
Blanchard on the bubble as far as the, well, he was. Now he's moved around.
He'll take the position away from the Honda.
All you need to do is make that feature, Ralph. That number 5 spot becomes so important in these heat races. As you mentioned, no consi, no second chance. You've got to do it this time around. White flag will be coming out this time around for our leader.
CR250 Honda, the 81 machine of Jeremy Freeman, out of it at this point, trying to pick up one more spot. And the white flag is out. Whoa, and Blanchard is down.
Blanchard went down, and that's such a tragic story in that corner.
Well, that's the one spot that has bitten everybody, and the checkered flag falls for Gravett again.
Was he on tonight?
Well, he's going to be tough to beat in the main event of both races, Gravett and Dyker. Once we see the two of them together in the same race, we're going to have quite a battle on our hands in both the 125 and the 250s. Here's that problem turn once again.
What they're doing, Ralph, is they're going down in a hole and see how loose it is down in that hole.
He just stuck the nose right in there, didn't it?
You stick the nose in it, and you can't come out of it. The bike wants the nose over on it.
So the Arenacross action done with the heat races. Main events will be coming up for them shortly, but Pro Arena Trucks as soon as we return to Beaumont. Later stages of the season. All right, we've got 250 motorcycles, or 125 main event actually first. And we're underway. Watch for Dyer on the 186 right out to the front on the Suzuki, and here comes the 31 of Lockwood. Sneaking into it is a 41 machine of Collier. Make that the 241, I'm sorry.
It's a scramble, Ralph.
That's Gravett. Gravett on the 241.
Bikes are down everywhere you want to look, and these guys are still racing for the lead.
Well, these are the two guys, Mike, that we expected to see. And Dyer having the better run right now. Gravin is doing everything he can to try to keep up with him, but he is really struggling. He's almost pushing too hard. See how he's kicking it out as he comes around the turns? Dyer a little bit smoother, but he's pulling away.
Got it a little high off that berm, and I think that cost him some time. He is pulling away, Ralph. The handle is, I must say.
See how Grav there again. He gets that rear end too far out. We talk so much about in the Pro Arena trucks how loose the traction is down there. You got to be easy on that gas.
These guys are going to find it out tonight.
Dyer now working into slower traffic. He's working on Ryan McGowan on the 4. Looking back in the interval between riders.
It didn't take long for them to spread it out on this kind of a racetrack. You either have it or you don't. If you don't have it, you fall to the back.
And our leader back up front as a white flag comes out in our 125cc main event. These guys are all going to be back out for the 250s.
He is showing them the way home.
Oh, we got a couple of riders down, but Dyker just a couple of turns away. You can see those riders arguing over whose fault it was. Dyker has nothing to argue about. He's going to take home the check. That was the 5 and the 31 getting together. The 31 was one of the riders we saw a lot of earlier, Eddie Laughlin. The 5, Todd Kirby. Remember, we'll see Kirby back out here in the 250 race as well. So the 125 competition completed. Dyker, who picked up a heat win, also grabs the main event in the 125s. Let's go down to Fred Bartson.
Ralph, I got the Brothers Hall here. Had some bad luck tonight with the trucks, but Tim, you and Mark are getting together for that final round. Tell me what you got going.
Well, we broke off this little piece of throttle linkage. It's just a 50-cent piece that you can get at the local parts store, but that broke us all. That shut it down. So G&G Machine Shop, Lund Truck Accessories, and KC Daylighter all had plenty of horsepower for us. Unfortunately, we just we couldn't put it together for us. But so we took a piece off of our other truck. This piece threads into here, broke off. We took a piece off it, and we're going to put it on ours and try to make one out of the two. So
this is off the Executioner, and this is off
the Smokecraft truck.
So y'all going to kind of come together as a team and kind of as a family and try to make it happen.
See what we can do.
How do you feel about the drag race?
Hopefully we can get something done here. It's been kind of a rough night for us, but I feel pretty good.
All right, that's the Hall Brothers coming together. Back to you, Ralph.
Hard to believe on something as big and powerful as a monster truck, there's actually a 50-cent piece.
There's actually a piece that weighs less than 10 pounds. But there's delicate pieces on all of them, like all racing machinery.
Not surprising that you could snap one apart, though, when you got 1,600 horsepower in some of these trucks floating through the system.
10,000 pounds. Tires weigh 100 pounds apiece.
250 riders, the whole thing probably doesn't weigh 100 pounds.
That's with rider.
That's with rider, exactly. Well, you see some of the names are going to look pretty familiar. That's because some of the guys have parked their 125s and climbed on top of their 250s now. Keep your eyes on the Kirbys. Dyer back out on his 186 machine, the bigger bike. He's struggling to get started. Now he's set.
They won't wait.
We're gone.
Shot down the straightaway.
211 into the lead. That's Gravin again.
Oh, and someone went down. We've had 2 bikes.
91 has a big problem. That's Troy Barrows. Out front, 211 is Gravin. And right on his tail is Kirby, and then Dyker, and then the 21 machine at Travis. So the same names up front. Now, the problem for Dyker is he's got to get around Kirby to see if he can go do anything about Gravin. Meanwhile, Gravin's pulling away.
The turns have really run it up. They're soft. There's not much bite in them. It's going to be a finesse situation. You can run good down the straightaways, and that's what they're going to have to do. Come to the inside. He's going to try to make it fast right in that area, but this may get away.
He's got him. He kicked him wide. That was a great move.
Beautiful riding.
Now, let's see if he can catch Gravin. Look at him flying over the double jump.
He doesn't have a lot of time, Ralph. This is a real short race, and he's going to have to just really hurry. Stand on it hard.
He's, oh, awfully smooth rider, Mike. He's getting into the turns nice and deep, and he's coming out of them quick. And I'll tell you, he's catching it.
Yes, he's making up ground, and he's making it up real quick.
Slower traffic in front of Gravity. Here comes David Geisendorf on the 47, and that could hurt either one of these two riders, this slower traffic.
He needs to get by him, and he needs to get by David immediately. He doesn't. I still think they're both catching him. Look at that, Ralph. They have narrowed.
Oh, and there's
a
87 bikes, or make that the 81 bike of Freeman. Jeremy Freeman stalled.
Look at this race. This is going to come down to the last few feet. They are just within reaching distance now. I didn't think he could catch him, Ralph, but he has done a tremendous job. You're right. He's much smoother in the curve.
Now he's caught him. Now he's got to get around him. Catching him is one thing. Passing him is another. And the white flag is out.
Got to do it. And
oh, there it is. Right there.
The inside.
Oh!
I thought he had it.
Boy, he did too. He tried to stuff him right there, and it didn't work.
I don't know. There's one more turn, but he's too far back, I think. But there's lap traffic there. He's going to do it. He's going to go for it. No.
To the outside. Can he get to the inside here? He's stuffed him. He's got him. Stuffed him and takes the win, does Diker. Oh.
Kicked the back wheel out of his into the 211 front wheel, and down he went.
Gravett led every turn but the last one, and he's furious.
Well, there's only one turn that matters, and that is the last one.
Wow. Let's watch this. Gravett gets hung up with the 91 bike of Barrows.
Comes underneath him. He had a little air. The bike was up in the air a little bit, and I think he just kicked the bike into
Hey,
it.
Diker had a great line through the turn. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm sure Gravett doesn't see it that way, but he had a good line. So the 250s wrap our Arenacross competition in fine style. We've got some more monsters, though, coming to Texas.